On the 23rd of December, myself, I was attacked in my own constituency by the anti-riot police from the headquarters here in Naguru, because, Mr. Chairman, they came in troop carriers, those long vehicles.
They attacked you
in my constituency. Yes. And I was feeling sad because I'm not seeing the director of operations who ought to be here. But now that we have the minister and the IGP, probably they can clarify. I was in Lwemiyaga County. There was a meeting where I went as an area member of parliament. But even without being an area member of parliament, by our setup under the local government, every Ugandan is a councillor, at least at the village. So we were at Lwemiyaga LC1, where I'm born, where you reside, where you got registered. But then, unknown to me, the FFU, the Field Force Unit from Naguru, were transported overnight. And they laid in ambush. Mr. Chairman, I have photos here. I was assaulted. My vehicle, the windscreen were shattered. They shot bullets and tear gas. And I inquired why the DPC was doing that. And I inquired the officer who was on the ground. He said, no, he has been cleared by the RPC. The RPC, we tried to get in touch with him, and he said, no, he had instructions from Naguru, from the director, operations, the number 3 police officer in seniority. Since then, Mr. Chairman, this is the matter that needed to be clarified as to why Mr. Frank Mwesigwa, the director of operations, could do this. We are going into an election period. What prompted him to deploy from Naguru, Masaka region, and the Sembabli to Lwemiyaga playground? Mr. Chairman, it is unfortunate, but his young brother, Ezra Tugume, was the one conducting and carrying out the orders of his big brother, Frank Mwesigwa. And they were being put to the DPC, to Azaje. Unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, you all come from the same place, from Nyabushozi. And I was reading the Constitution. The Constitution is clear. Article 211. The Uganda Police Force shall be nationalistic, patriotic, professional, disciplined, competent, and productive, and its members shall be citizens of Uganda of good character. Why did we arrive at that, Mr. Chairman? Frank Tugume, the director of operations, Mwesigwa, I beg your pardon, is a person who is known to me, together with his brother. Can't we as police have these, so that you are nationalistic in nature? I don't want to speak about people who are not here. I had a lot to speak about them if they were here. Ezra Tugume, the younger brother, biological younger brother. Is the police turning into a family affair such that we have nowhere we can complain? And this came to your attention and nobody raised a finger about it. And Mr. Chairman, lastly, the police must be national in character. You don't get people of the same constituency. Actually, they are your constituents, all of them, Mr. Chairman. You don't get them and you put them in Lwemiyaga, in Sembabule, in Masaka region, and even at the top level here as the director of operations. I was hurt, Mr. Chairman, and now since that they're here, I want them to clarify.
Thank you.
What prompted the deployment and the attacking of the area MP? In fact, I asked them, has this meeting, which you say I can't go to, has it been cleared by police? The OC down said the RPC, that is Ezra Tugume, has cleared it. And when we asked the RPC, he said, no, the director, operations, and there was no evidence to that effect. Mr. Chairman, if we personalize the instruments of coercion, if we turn them into family issues, if we know the circumstances under which this very Ezra left Busia as the DPC.
No, I think now your point of procedure.
I want to go there, Mr. Chairman.
Please.
I'll raise it at another point in time. Incidentally, the Director of Operations who usually accompanies the IGP is not here. I'm saddened that he's not here. I wanted to look him in the eye. Together with his brother, he's also not here. Twazaji is not here.
Why don't
So
you
I'm just
address
boxing
them as
the,
RPC and Direct Operations? Because now, in my view, they are carrying out all that because they are responsible for what they are doing. So when you now personalize it to names and villages, you yourself, you actually dilute your point. The issue is that Honorable Ssekikubo was attacked in his constituency, which is not good.
From the face of it.
We want the IGP, we want the minister to talk about it.
It's unfortunate that the police should interfere with the activities of a member of parliament duly elected. That's not the job of the police. Stopping a member of parliament from addressing his or her constituents is the job of the constituents who elected him or her in the first place. A member of parliament does not have to ask for permission to carry out his or her activities in their jurisdiction. So, at a certain stage, I will ask the Inspector General of Police to explain what happened. This is contrary to our directives, both the President and myself. We don't condone this. We won't tolerate it.
First of all, my apologies to Honorable Ssekikubo. I'm aware of what transpired in Lwemiyaga, and the same is being subjected to a neutral assessment so that we don't hurt any individual in the process. And at an opportune time, I should be able to give a response and act accordingly, also being guided by protocols and procedures. I may not be able to give exactly what is going to happen, but I can promise and confirm that action will be taken where it is required. There was also the other issue raised by Honorable Numbers, I think, about police officers escorting goons. I think still our efforts are still work in progress. Now, at this juncture, as Inspector General of Police, it's very difficult for me now to exactly give the pretty details of what happened around that incident, because even for me, I'm just getting that complaint, and I promise that we are going to follow it up thoroughly. But the issue you raise is, I think it's not only in your area, it could be countrywide, but at times, because the police moves with the force, most of these activities are carried out by court brokers, given permission by court. But when it is done without, then there is a problem which we must handle. And for me, that's the bottom line. And we are ready and prepared to correct where we get mistakes, but equally seriously ready to protect the people of Uganda. And we have that commitment. I can really confidently say this. Along the way, there will be mistakes. But what is important is how do you handle those mistakes? And that's why I want to assure you that the systems and procedures and processes of handling those issues are in place, and we shall continue to improve on even those systems. I beg that where we falter, we work around these things together, because the police is ours. The police is to help us, to help this country, to enable this country to move forward. As we realize it as an institution, that we have a very cardinal duty. And if we don't perform it, you cannot talk of development. Because if you lack peace and security, then the aspirations, all of those visions, 2040, the PDM and all of that, we are alive to that fact, and we shall work towards that to ensure that this country continues to move forward.